Welcome to StriveScan College Launchpad. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some great institutions joining us tonight to talk about their schools as well as their business programs. Each institution will have 6 minutes to present to you, and once all institutions have presented, we'll come back for a Q&A session, so be sure to stick around until the end. My name is Danielle, and I will be your facilitator throughout tonight's event. I do want to start with a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are muted, so our guests cannot see or hear you. I want you to use your Q&A feature on your screen to send any questions that you have throughout the presentation. There will be a recording of tonight's event, so be sure to check it out at strivescan.com/launch. And though this is the last session for tonight, I want you to check out other programs that are happening this week, as well as more to come in May. I'd like to start with our first presenter this evening. All right, and we're going to be hearing from Southern Oregon University.
Hi, everybody. Let me get the screen share going. All right, there we go. My name's Ian. I'm the Associate Director of Admission at Southern Oregon University. As you can see, we're located in a beautiful little Northwest town, kind of town that Hallmark movies are usually set in. Really pretty place. If you're not familiar with Ashland, we are located in the southern part of the state of Oregon. We're about 10 minutes from the California border, located in the town of Ashland. And Ashland is in the Rogue Valley, which has a little over 215,000 residents total. It's the fourth largest metro area in the state of Oregon. We're about halfway in between San Francisco and Portland, roughly halfway. So if you're on the 5 freeway, it's easy to drive to Ashland. If you're coming from California, we're the first exit when you get into Oregon. If you're coming from the north, we're the last exit before you leave Oregon. We also have an international airport located in Medford. You can see there's direct flights into the Medford airport from those cities. You can fly on airlines like Alaska, United, Delta, American, Allegiant, plenty of the big carriers, so easy to get to. All right, this is a little video I made riding my bike through campus. You can get an idea of what campus looks like while I talk about some statistics. We are a public 4-year university. We're one of the 8 public 4-year universities in the state of Oregon. We have about 5,000 students total. So the environment is really closer to that of a liberal arts private university than it is most of your typical 4-year publics. We have a 20-to-1 student faculty ratio, and with an average class size of 21, that means you're going to get to know your faculty and your classmates really well. And every single class is taught by faculty. There's no grad students or TAs teaching classes. The average GPA of our admitted undergraduate students is a 3.4. We do have 38 majors, but today we're just going to be focusing on the business-related ones. We also have 3 residence halls, student apartments, family housing, 19 men's and women's varsity sports, and over 100 clubs and organizations. So pretty traditional student life for a 4-year university. Let's get the climate issue out of the way. First off, we are in the Northwest, but we don't have your typical Northwest weather. In the summer, our average highs are in the low 80s. We will get up to 100 a couple times. And in the winter, we still get up into the low 50s as a high on most days. And rainfall, we get half the amount of rain that Portland gets. We actually get less rain than the national average, so that's dispelling a big Northwest myth right there. We do have 4 beautiful seasons. We will occasionally get snow. Our average yearly snowfall is only about 4 inches. It's usually gone within a day or two. But right behind campus, we do have the ski resort called Mount Ashland. So if you want to go play in the snow, go snowboarding or skiing, it is only 25-30 minutes from campus. All right, so let's talk about our business offerings. Business is our most popular major, as it is at lots of universities. Within business, you can focus your studies on accounting, tourism, marketing, or management. All of those focus areas lead to a bachelor's degree in business administration. We have a BA or a BS option. We also offer economics, financial mathematics, and innovation and leadership. We have a couple business minors as well. Esports management is kind of a unique one. We're focusing on the business side of the esports industry, which is has a large business side to it. We also have an esports team and an esports lounge. So if you're a gamer, Some pretty good programs there for you. We have some micro credentials, as you can see there, one focused on sustainability. And skip over to the right here with our certificates. We have a bunch of different certificates, some fun ones like winemaking, sustainable tourism, interactive marketing, e-commerce. And then finally, we do have a couple master's programs in business administration, commonly referred to as an MBA. We have a general business administration degree, master's in business administration. We also have one focused on art administration and another master's in management. Now, the art administration one is unique. For a student who comes to Southern Oregon and studies art, if they get a business along with their art degree, they can finish their MBA with the focus in art administration in just 1 year after they get their bachelor's degree in their art-related field. And all of that master's degree level is still going to be at the undergraduate level tuition rate. So that's a pretty cool offering as well. All right, a couple other things about the program. We do offer our business, we do offer a lot of our business programs online. You can do management or accounting online. You can also do the master's in business online. We have a number of internships. We've placed students at places like Disney, NASA, Wyden Kennedy, which handles the marketing for Nike, a lot of the marketing for Nike. Lots of study abroad programs, close to about 60 of those. And a couple of those are business specific, but you don't have to go on a business specific study abroad if you're a business major. We have 19 accelerated programs, including business. You can actually earn your bachelor's degree in business in 3 years instead of 4. And that saves you an awful lot of money on your degree. It allows you to start earning money sooner or going to grad school sooner. And as I mentioned in our last slide, we do have the undergraduate tuition rate for people that get their master's degree in business straight after their bachelor's. Real quick, because I'm running out of time, we do have 4 residence halls, really new residence halls, really new dining facility, and athletic facilities as well. There you can see our tuition. Big thing to know, we have automatic merit scholarships starting at a 2.85 GPA. And that is all for my time. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from Gonzaga University.
All righty, everybody. My name is Eli Jenkins. I'm with Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington. We're directly east of Seattle on the Washington-Idaho border. So Gonzaga at a glance, we have just about 5,000 undergraduate students, really that medium-sized university. I always like to say I'm a Gonzaga graduate myself. I never knew everybody, but always knew somebody when I was walking around campus. 92% of our students come back for their second year after their first year, which I think is a really good way to see what the support systems at Gonzaga look like. About 3/4 of our students will graduate in 4 years. 96% of our students within 6 months of graduating are either employed in graduate school in the military or in something like a competitive service program like the Peace Corps or Jesuit Volunteer Corps. So our ZAGs are very successful on campus, even maybe more successful off campus. We have an average class size of 23 in an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you'll find that you are very much an individual, not a number in your courses. And this is across the board, ranging from core curriculum to the business courses you may take at Gonzaga as well. So some of the academic programs specifically within the School of Business, we have business administration and accounting. So accounting is a top 30 program in the nation. Business administration is top 100. If you're interested in studying anything in the range of economics, entrepreneurship, any of these concentrations, what you do is you actually major in business and then you concentrate in 1 to 2 of the following. So you don't have to give up any passion just because maybe you want to do marketing and supply chain management. You're able to do both of those. With accounting, we are #1 for the CPA exam pass rate in the Northwest. So if you do want to go on that CPA track, become that certified public accountant, a lot of our students do take that path and are very successful. We're top 10 nationally with passing the CPA exam at 83%. And then also have the 5th year MBA, Masters of Accounting, and Masters of Tax programs as well. The MBA has a 1-year option. So if you want to do your four years of undergraduate business and then get that MBA in a 5th year, you're able to do that. Our Masters of Accounting and Tax are unique in that they're what we call a 3-2 program, where partway through your junior year, you're taking about half of your undergraduate courses, and then, in your senior year of undergraduate, you're taking courses towards your undergraduate and then some courses towards your graduate degree. So you are able to finish with both your undergraduate degree in accounting and your master's in accounting or tax in 5 years. We also have a program if maybe you find yourself wanting to minor in business or want to be involved with business, but you want to study something else outside of the university. We have a program called the Hogan Entrepreneurial Leadership Program, which is for students of any majors, business or not, to apply. If you get into the program, you're in a cohort of students starting in your sophomore year, where you really get to know and develop relationship with those people, and then graduate with a minor in entrepreneurship. One really cool thing that they lead is called our New Venture Lab. So that gives gives students in the business school a chance to actually consult with local Spokane businesses. They are with a variety of different organizations in the Spokane area and range from everything from the financial side of consulting to marketing, operations. So getting that hands-on experience is very important. We have a very active community. You'll hear the words community a lot on campus. We are a Jesuit Catholic university. The Jesuits are essentially a denomination within the Catholic Church who have a very big focus on social justice and teaching. You'll find that learning by doing and getting hands-on experience, whether you're in business, nursing, art, psychology, is very, very important. We have over 140 clubs and organizations on campus, which allow our students to really get that hands-on learning experience. And as a Catholic university too, I always like to mention, you don't have to be Catholic to come to Gonzaga. Faith life is really what you make of it at GU. We're a Jesuit university. That's who we are. We want you to be who you are. We have 38 faiths represented and plenty of resources for students on that ministry religious side of things. 82% of our students come from 200 miles away or further. So if you're worried about coming to Gonzaga, like, are all my friends going to leave in the evenings and on the weekends? That's not the case. They live too far away to do that, which does really, I think, increase the community at Gonzaga. Our students do over 150,000 hours of community service, so I think that you'll find that's a very integral part of the Gonzaga experience. You can also see some of our resources from Health and Counseling, Resource Center for LGBTQ+ students, as well as the Center for Student Academic Success and the Unity Multicultural Education Center. 78% of our students have had internships or other experiential activities as of this past year. So again, that idea of hands-on experience is very, very important. We're in Spokane, Washington. You can see here on where the pin is, where we're in the state of Washington. We're 15-20 minutes away from downtown Spokane. We're the second biggest city in the state, but you'll find that we have a much smaller city feel with those bigger city resources. We're within an hour and a half of 2 state parks. Within 90 miles, there's 5 ski resorts. So access to the outdoors is very, very prevalent in Spokane. We also get quite a bit less rain than like the western edge of the state. So we get those 4 traditional seasons: hot summers, snowy winters, and really, really good looking springs, as we can see here. How you can be a ZAG, we're on the Common application that opens August 1st. We have one decision deadline, December 1st. You can see our middle 50% for unweighted GPA and ACT, SAT scores. We're test optional. I encourage you to ask in an admission interview with your admission counselor what that looks like. Admission interviews are much more of a, let's get to know you and how we can help you as a professional and as an applicant, put your best foot forward throughout the process. All students qualify for merit aid simply by applying. The average financial aid package was $32,000 a year. So when you see that sticker cost, it's hardly ever going to be your final cost. Thanks.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from Temple University, the Japan campus.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nathan Crown. I'm the Director of Overseas Admissions here at Temple University, Japan campus. I'll just go ahead and share my screen. Let's get into it. Temple University Japan campus is a branch campus of one of the United States' largest public research universities, Temple University, over in Philadelphia on the East Coast. Big school, almost 40,000 students, and they opened a branch campus here in Tokyo, Japan 40 years ago, and it offers a unique opportunity for you to study US degree in the heart of Tokyo, Japan. So not only getting a Japan and international experience, but ultimately graduating from a big US university. Japan's an amazing country and Tokyo is an amazing city. Chance to immerse yourself in the culture, great food, friendly people, statistically very safe, and a fantastic public transport system, so you won't need a car. Being an American degree, it's a familiar curriculum coming from a US high school or transferring from college. Temple University is ranked very highly on Times Higher Education World Ranking, as you can see there, 301 to 350 group. We also take, of course, transfer credits from college, whether you've done dual enrollment during high school or you're planning to go to college first before transferring to four-year school. We give credit for AP, IB, and A-level curriculum as well. There's no language barrier, so you can come and study in Japan in English and learn Japanese as part of your program from beginner to advanced. And if you've got some Japanese ability already, that's going to give you a great foundation to build on. If you want to work in Japan in the future, then we certainly recommend studying Japanese as part of your degree and getting that up to business level. As I mentioned, our main campus over in Philadelphia on the East Coast, the Japan campus here in the heart of Tokyo, and we also have a campus in Rome, Italy. As a Temple student, you have the flexibility and choice to study at all of our campuses or do your full 4 years here in Japan. And we have a range of study abroad partners throughout the world to enhance your degree even further and a chance to see other parts of the world. We're located just 5 minutes from one of the most famous places in Tokyo, Shibuya, which is kind of like the Times Square of Tokyo. 2 train stations out there and about 5 minutes walk from the station. Around the station, plenty of shops, restaurants, cafes, convenience stores, karaoke places, everything. There really is something for everyone here in Tokyo. You won't be bored. It's a pretty flat city as well, so riding a bike or walking is pretty common as well. Over 1,400 students from over 60 countries, a very diverse campus, but we pride ourselves on our small class sizes, which offers a challenging and interactive curriculum and a chance to really get to know your professors and classmates well. All of our students study together. We don't separate international, domestic, so you will be studying with other Japanese students, as well as students from the US, and as I mentioned, 60 plus countries. All right, what can you study with us? Well, there are 10 majors on the screen now, but specifically today we're focusing on our business program. We offer a full major called International Business Studies, and that is our most popular program. Within the undergraduate business studies program, you'll be taking courses across some of the key areas of business, including management, marketing, finance and accounting, human resources, economics, IT and politics and global business, etc. As well, you'll be taking a 4-credit internship as part of your program to give you real work experience in a global city, Tokyo. And many of our students do 2 or 3 internships as part of their program. There's also a language component allowing you to take Japanese, Chinese, or Korean up to intermediate, or you can add in a double major perhaps and take Japanese all the way up to business level. We also offer majors in economics, which complements the business program, and also a minor in general business studies. What better place to study business in the 3rd largest economy in a global city like Tokyo? And many of our students go on to some famous companies, and I'll talk about that in a moment. We also offer a Master in Management graduate degree program as well. One of the nice things about our undergraduate business program is our executives in the classroom, where we bring in CEOs and other executives of big, well-known companies into the classroom to talk with our students and set the project. So for example, we have a marketing executive come in and set the marketing project for the students, go out and do a marketing plan and research and bring that back to the board. So that's going to give students real life and kind of real life marketing plan and research that they can then have the opportunity to present to some high-powered executives. As I mentioned, many of our students do go on to work in Japan, and these are 3 of many, many success stories. Check out our website there. You can scan the QR code and see the whole list of companies our students have gone to. But just off the top of my head, we've had students go to big companies like Intel, GE, Deloitte, Amazon, as you can see there, Apple, Microsoft, some big names. And coming to Japan is kind of like the back doors to some of these big tech companies and others. You'll also be able to work part-time in Japan while you're a student here, and that's a great way to earn some extra cash. As you can see, our tuition is significantly lower than the average out-of-state tuition at public schools and tuition at private schools across the US. So it can be less expensive to come to Japan than it is to go out of state. And you can use all your regular financial aid like FAFSA, veterans benefits, and we have merit scholarships you can apply for. So I'm just going to finish up by saying if you do apply to the Japan campus, you can apply either through the common application or through our online application form. Either is fine, whatever is most convenient for you. And we are test optional for SAT and ACTs. So thank you very much, everyone. And we look forward to welcoming you to Tokyo in the near future. Back to you, Danielle.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from Pacific University, Oregon.
Perfect. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Derek Nagley, and I am one of the admissions staff here at Pacific University. We're a small private liberal arts school, and we are located in the northwest corner of Oregon. So just outside of Portland Metro, we are part of the Portland city, which means you are able to get out to our campus by flying into the Portland International Airport or driving up to Portland and then using mass transportation to get out to campus. But as a small school, it also means we're connected to not just downtown and that big city feel, but also we're only an hour from the Oregon coast, a couple hours from Mount Hood. So you're able to get that Pacific Northwest adventure in the mountains and trees you see behind me in this beautiful green part of the state, while mixing that in with the connections of having places like Nike, Intel, Xerox, and Columbia within a 15-minute drive of our campus. So our students are able to mix that adventure in with what they want to study while they're here. And as a small private liberal arts school, you're going to have the opportunity to come in and study business, and we'll focus in on that in just a second. But no matter what you apply to Pacific in, you're coming into an honors level education with one application. So you don't have to apply in and then apply into a specific program or hope you got into the honors college, but instead you get to apply to Pacific through Common App for free. And then you can be one of our about 1,900 undergrad students, about 2,000 graduate students on the Forest Grove campus, where you're able to interact with professors. You're in small classes where the average class size is about 19 students. A big lecture hall at Pacific is going to seat 50 students. Our small ones are 3, 4, and 5. And at Pacific, all of our classes are taught by full professors. So there's no TAs in those classrooms. It's actually a professor who's there and wants to pass on that knowledge. And they're going to know your name and where you're from, and they're going to call on you in class. So it holds you to a high academic standard. And that's a good thing, because not only do we want you to come to Pacific and get that education, but we want you to get that education in 4 years. And we guarantee that for our programs at Pacific, that you're able to come in and within that 4 years, get all the classes you need to be able to take the next step. We want you to be able to do that within the business program or within the school as a whole. And when we focus in on the business program, we obviously have that accounting program where we do make sure you have enough credits that you are able to sit for the CPA exam as part of that accounting degree at Pacific. You can also do business administration, business finance, international business management, and marketing. We've also opened up new programs this year in sports leadership and management, sports communication, outdoor leadership, and then we do have a full econ and data sciences program as well. And then if you want to come to Pacific and take that next step along the way, you're able to continue that at Pacific by getting a master's in business administration or in a master's in business through healthcare administration. So you can focus in on what you want to study while you're here. And in all of those classes, again, you're interacting with those professors. They are professors who do continuing work in the field. They consult for those large name companies or those startup companies in the Portland metro area. And they work with our students to not only learn those things in the classroom, but maybe get certificates in Google Analytics as you're a student there at Pacific, or working on your business presentations and being able to get extra PowerPoint skills. We want you to learn all of the things behind the business degree, not just be able to take the classes, but be able to take those into the real world. And to help with that, we have our placement services. We lovingly call her Wanda. She runs our placement services for all of our business programs at Pacific, but she's an amazing lady who helps our students find internships and job shadowing and industry research opportunities freshman and sophomore year. They don't have to wait till they're a junior or senior to start those, so they can build up those experiences. And whether that's at somewhere like a big name company in the Portland metro area, or that's at a mom and pop shop in downtown Forest Grove, or creating your own business and putting it to the Berglund Center and potentially getting financed to run your own business while you're a student at Pacific, we want you to have those interactions so that you can go out and build up not just the classroom experience, but that resume as well. And so last year, over 93% of our students had a job within 6 months of graduation or were on a career path as well. So they really are ready to take that next step. But the thing that makes Pacific unique is we don't want you to give up all those other things you love. If you have that passion for a group, an identity, a club, a talent for performing arts or athletics, we want you to do that at the same time and get that for your education. By joining in our different clubs and organizations, being part of the performing arts groups or the athletics while you're a student here. That also means taking what you're learning in the classroom outside into the real world, and not just in the business setting, but maybe that's taking advantage of that outdoor adventure we were talking about and exploring the Pacific Northwest and all it has to offer, and taking a trip, learning a new skill, or even building up that leadership major or minor. Maybe that means studying abroad as part of your education while you're here at Pacific. You can study all over the world and all over the US as part of that, or giving back through our community service projects as a student at Pacific. We want you to be able to take those skills to help solve problems throughout the world. And again, show that you know what you're using that classroom experience for. And again, as you apply to Pacific, you're applying to Pacific and you're applying for a merit scholarship. We're looking at your academic profile holistically. We are test optional, which means you can be admitted to Pacific and receive our highest merit scholarship without sending in test scores. They're part of who you are, but they are not a number that defines who you are. We're also going to look at you for opportunities for special interest and talent awards and all those passions I talked about, or maybe coming to campus senior year virtually or in person and visiting campus on one of our senior preview days to get a feel for what it's like to be a student here and earn some scholarship that way as well. And so as an admissions counselor, I want you to reach out with more questions because I know we only give you a few minutes to listen to the highlights of our schools, and there's so much more I can tell you about becoming a boxer. So please feel free to reach out, and I will put my information into the chat so that you can reach out that way as well. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from Oregon Institute of Technology.
Yes, hello, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, all right, so hello, I am Bob Reynolds and I am from the Oregon Institute of Technology, or Oregon Tech as we like to call it. There's our main campus right there in Klamath Falls. We also have a satellite campus in the Portland metro area as well. But it's beautiful, look, take a look, just right off the bat. There's the Cascade Mountains in the background. All right, let's go, we'll talk about it. So first of all, we are Oregon's Polytechnic University. We're the only one in Oregon, and it means we focus specifically on STEM-based majors, including engineering, applied sciences, business, even communication studies. We'll get to more of that in a little bit. But Polytechnic also means we focus on hands-on education. You're going to be in the labs, you're going to be doing internships, externships, working in our healthcare facilities, depending on what you want to do. But it's, you know, at Oregon Tech, it's all about the hands-on experiences as well as, of course, the things you learn in the classroom, but you're going to be getting your hands a little dirty as well. Polytechnic education, that's what it's all about. We also are a smaller university, but we're mighty. We're transforming all the time. Look at all those numbers right there. That's our seat hall in our newest building right there, housing our engineering programs as well. Just built it, just opened. So come check it out. But a little bit more about what makes us unique. Here are some points of pride. So again, like I said, we're a smaller university, only about 5,000 students across our campuses. But look at these points of pride we have here, all these buttons on the right-hand side. We have 91% of our undergraduate courses have 30 or fewer students. Right, and that's a big number. 30 is like, oh my gosh, I had a big class today. There are 30 students in there. There's a 16-to-1 faculty to student ratio. Look at this, 96% of our graduates are either employed in the field they study or in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. That's fantastic. And the starting salary right here is $60K per year. And that's just starting. Some majors you earn even more. That's just the average. That makes us the #1 return on investment in Oregon. We're it. The money you put into your education and the time isn't even close to what you're going to get out of it. And the numbers speak for themselves. We like our data here at Oregon Tech. We're a little nerdy, but the numbers are good. They speak to how great an education you're going to get. Look, we have 40+ academic programs, 50+ student clubs and organizations. We have in sports. There's 13 of them, basketball, baseball, soccer, you name it, in the NAIA division. And there's 2 housing options on our Klamath Falls campus. You can come stay with us, live on campus. It's not a requirement, but you can if you want. Right here, again, our main campus is in Klamath Falls. It's more of the traditional campus setting. Again, we have the residence halls, all of our sports teams, but we also have a Portland Metro campus. It's more of a commuter campus. A lot of transfer students take advantage of that, but we have a large freshman class as well. It's only about 800 students, again, a bit smaller, and there's a lot of day, evening, and Saturday courses, a little bit more flexible for those folks that want that more urban experience. There you go. So, you know what we're about, you know where we're located. Let's talk about our programs a little bit. There's 40 of them, so I'll just go over a list of them here. Of course, we have all our engineering programs, including geomatics, which is surveying and using drones to map out the land, mechanical engineering, renewable energy engineering. We're actually the first university to offer that as a degree program, and we still do it the best. We're #1. We also have our computer systems engineering programs with 3 different modalities. You can focus on different parts of computer programming, which is awesome. We also have some tech-infused business degrees. Tech-infused, that means we focus on the technology used to drive these different programs and these different fields of study, including accounting, marketing, management, you name it, cybersecurity even. It's one of our most popular programs. This is at both of our campuses, and it's a really big growing career field. And then we have our healthcare related degrees and our science related degrees, medical laboratory sciences, medical imaging technology, one of the only programs on the West Coast, nursing, dental hygiene, respiratory care, which is really important nowadays. And then the applied sciences, last but not least, including environmental sciences, professional writing, applied psychology. We got it all. Come on over. Right. We also have a vibrant campus life. So if when you're not in the classroom, you can be taking part in one of our clubs. We have a bunch of them, over 50, like I said, including the Inventors Club. There's a Formula One, SAE, and Baja Racing Club, which you get to build your own Baja race car and then race it. Mechanical engineers love it. We have a great outdoor program. Again, we're located in Southern Oregon, only an hour away from Crater Lake. So there's lots of opportunities for that. And you can like go to a sports game or maybe play a sport as well. So inside and outside of the classroom, Oregon Tech has it for sure. All right, we also have great student support programs, including our peer consulting services, which is our tutoring service run by your peers. You can even become a peer consultant and get paid to tutor your fellow students, which is really cool. So there's a list of some of our additional resources. All right, how do you get in? So we look for these 15 core subject requirements. We look for 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 3 years of lab science, 2 years of social studies, 1 career technical education or fine art, and then 1 academic elective. If you have a 3.0 and just those 15 on average, you get in automatically. That's it. If you have a 2.5 or higher, maybe you're missing one of those courses, you're still considered for admission. Look down here, there's no essay, no letter of recommendation, no second language requirement, and no transcript at the time of the application. We look for that later once you're in. And we're ACT and SAT optional as well. Pretty streamlined, right? Value and affordability, like I said, we're #1, return on investment right there. A lot of our students take advantage of our scholarships and our financial aid, including our presidential scholarships and our engineering scholarships, which are automatically awarded based on GPA. All right, and we'll talk about how to get in touch with me. That's me, Bob Reynolds. There's my information. Hit me up if you have any more questions. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, we are going to hear from our last presenter of the evening, but after we hear from Washington State University, all of our college representatives are going to come back to the screen and we'll go through some Q&A. So I'll turn it over to Washington State University.
All right, hello everyone. I'm the representative for Washington State University. I'm actually a student at Washington State University. So I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the Carson College of Business. Let's see. First off, WSU is located in the eastern state or eastern side of Washington State. We have 4 physical locations, one in Everett. I believe we have one in Spokane. There's WSU in Pullman, and then we have a global campus as well that's online. The population of Pullman is about 34,000. Students are about roughly 20,000. So if that shows you about how much of the student population makes up the actual population of Pullman, when we say it's a college town, it really is a college town, which is really cool. Something about the academics, there's about 200 fields of study in WSU overall, with 560 plus, I think it's actually a total of 565 study abroad programs on all 7 continents, which is, I think, a really cool opportunity for us as students. We are a Pac-12 school. We have over 400 student clubs, 75 plus intramurals, 20 faith-based, 60 plus fraternities and sororities, and 4 student cultural centers. I myself am a part of the Honors College, and so the average GPA in the Honors College is about a 3.85. All of the classes are actually capped at 20, I believe 25 students. You can't have classes higher than 25 students, and they're mostly discussion based and not exam based, which is really, really cool for, I think, a style of learning. In terms of scholarship for the Carson College of Business, the Carson College of Business itself awards over $800,000 a year in scholarships. As a student, I've benefited from this personally. I think next year, my year of school is fully funded, including a place to live. So that's really awesome. And it's really speaks leaps and bounds of how much support there is for students here at WSU. In terms of majors, we have a lot of the, I guess, typical College of Business majors. We have accounting, entrepreneurship, finance. One that we really highlight and are very proud of is our hospitality business management. We have an international business major, management, management information systems and marketing. Alongside these, we have certificate programs as well, such as behavior business research, professional sales, and culinary and wine business. Something that we also really pride ourselves about is our Career Amplifier program. This is a co-curricular program that students can develop soft skills, and they're really pushed outside of their comfort zone to really talk to industry leaders, industry professionals, networking, build resume building skills to really help them develop the skills that they might not get in a theoretical sense and apply them in a practical sense. And this is a little bit more on that. Each 4 years is divided into different steps of the program. So the first one is kind of transitioning into your world as WSU. The second one is really selecting your major and getting engaged with that program. The third one is building your skills, networking and talking to technical experts. And the fourth one is really giving that back to the community. I myself am an accounting major, and I can say that this program has really helped me a lot in building my network and getting me connected with an internship with Deloitte. I think I sped through that pretty quickly. I'm sorry, I was very stressed out about giving this presentation. I have a couple other talking points though that I can speak on, which is that we have, as a student body, we give about 66,000 of civic engagement. And there's about 27 on-campus residence halls. I am an RA as well, so I work in the residence halls, which is really cool. And there's roughly about 31,000 enrolled students across all of our campuses in WSU. There's also two specific programs in the Carson College of Business that I like to highlight, which is the GCISL Corporate Scholars and Boeing Scholars Program. This allows students to really work with professionals from Boeing or from the senior living industry, meet with CEOs, meet with industry leaders, and come up with business projects that they will apply in their business. And it's a way of giving back to the community and as well as for us as students to gain professional expertise. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the email and call the number. And thank you for your time.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, so we are now going to transition into our Q&A session. So we'll have all of our college representatives come back to the screen with their cameras on, and we'll get ready by answering the first question. So this is our first session from the StriveScan College Launchpad. We're focusing tonight on business. So what's one thing that you want students to remember about your business program? And we'll start with our first institution that presented, which is Southern Oregon University.
Thank you, Danielle. I just want students to know, especially coming out of high school, if you have a 3.2 GPA or higher, that you can engage in our accelerated baccalaureate degree program. That means you can graduate with your bachelor's degree in business in 3 years instead of 4. And we don't load extra classes on you, make you go to summer school. We actually reduce the total number of electives you have to take. But finishing in 3 years obviously saves you 25% off the cost of your bachelor's degree. And then you can actually add on the 1-year master's of MBA. So in 4 years, you got your bachelor's, you got your master's, and your friends in your other schools are still trying to register for their 300 and 400 level classes. Thanks.
Yeah, I'd say at Gonzaga, as a liberal arts university, we do have a pretty broad core curriculum. And even so, you're taking courses outside of just your business courses and have that really well-rounded education. And then very much so, especially even in business, is having social justice issues put at the forefront of your courses. So if you're in marketing, like how can you be the best marketer that's also there to enact change as well? So just outside of business, you're going to get a lot of hands-on experience in other subjects as well.
Thank you. The chance to study your degree in a global city and unrivaled internship and career opportunities here for students as well, particularly those that are interested in a global career and maybe working in Japan as well in the future. Thank you.
I think the thing that makes Pacific's business program stand out the most is if you are that student who's looking at doing business, but also having those other passions and still being able to do all of those in that guaranteed four-year education where you don't just have to be a student, but you get to be the student athlete or the student advocate or in those clubs and organizations. Pacific is really going to give you that small school atmosphere where you're able to succeed in all of those at the same time.
Yeah, because Oregon Tech is a polytechnic university. We focus on that hands-on learning. So, and our business degrees are also tech infused. So again, it gives you that focus on the technology that drives each sector, each career field, and that's what's going to give you the edge when you go to look for a job. It's gonna make that difference. So that hands-on education that you get working in the internships, the externships, the labs, and that tech infused bent with our business degrees, that's it. That's what makes the difference. That's the one thing to remember.
I would say for Washington State University, the biggest thing for me is kind of what Derek said for Pacific University. It's the same concept. We have a lot of opportunities to have interdisciplinary work. I myself am a Japanese minor along with accounting and MIS double major. And having that opportunity to explore the Japanese side of my interests and also outside of that work in different programs that connect me with psychology students, engineering students, and work on projects together as a group to get that experience working with students, not just in the business major, but also outside of the business major and exploring interest there. I think that's something that I think is really cool about WSU.
Wonderful, thank you. We do have time for an additional question. So I would like to ask, what advice would you give someone who's going through this college search process?
Check out these online StriveScan college fairs. Do as much research as you can, see as many different universities as you can to try and narrow down your search so that when you're applying for schools your senior year, that you just are applying to a handful.
Yeah, I'd say just engaging with any college or university that you're interested in, or at least, especially if you're a junior or a sophomore, figuring out like what you're looking for, whether that's in person or virtually. Getting engaged and getting connected with people at the university will really help you kind of get clarity in the search process.
Don't be put off by the image of maybe perhaps going overseas is going to be ultra expensive. Do a little bit of research and don't hesitate, again, echoing what my colleagues have said. Reach out to the admissions counselors here. They're here to answer your questions.
And don't just focus on one word. What I mean by that is colleges love to rename anything we possibly can just so we can sound unique. You heard it here today. Even within business, you heard 70 different versions of business. So don't focus in on just one word in that Google search, in that college search. Even something as simple as just going online and Googling, what is this called, will give you so many other opportunities that you'd miss out on otherwise.
Yeah, I would say time. Much like some of my colleagues have said, give yourself time to explore what college is going to be the right fit for you, and to make sure fit isn't just about if it has the right program, it's what happens outside the classroom that's really important as well. And so if you give yourself time to really explore what the college is really like, what the students are like, what they do for fun outside of the classroom, you're going to find the right fit. So give yourself time to do just that.
I'm going to sound like a broken record, but yeah, give yourself time to explore all these things. And I guess from my perspective as a student, I can kind of put in a little bit of a unique perspective is don't be influenced by your friends. Your friends are going to go to all these different schools and they're going to be talking about these different schools that they're looking at, and they have their own reasons. Find your own reason to go to a school and let your research speak for itself, and talk to as many people as you can. You know, talk to advisors, as well as maybe alumni, as well as students. You're going to get the whole spectrum that way and really understand a feel for the university as a whole.
Wonderful. You all shared some really awesome advice. So thank you all so much for sharing the advice and sharing information about your institutions tonight. This does bring us to the end of this session. It's been such a great time just learning about the different business programs that you all offer. Thank you to our attendees for joining. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We appreciate any feedback that you can provide. We encourage you to check back the schedule and sign up for more sessions this week. So all of the programming this week is focused on majors. We'll be doing more programming in May that's focused on different sizes of colleges. So be sure to come back and check out the schedule. And remember that this recording will be available at strivescan.com/launch. Thank you all so much. Have a great evening.